Welcome to Coffee with the Mayor. I'm Deb Vitrelli, and we are broadcasting live from the top of Tampa Bay in beautiful downtown Oldsmar with our host, Oldsmar Mayor Eric Seidel.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm tired.
You're tired?
Hi, long night last night.
Not for us. It wasn't a very long meeting.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. So these segments are featured each Wednesday following a city council meeting for the community. So before we begin, we encourage our viewing audience to submit any questions they may have during the segment by commenting on our Facebook live feed. We will do our best to try and get your questions answered a long night. So just in case we don't, you can always email Mayor Seidel at eseidel@myoldsmar.com and regarding anything we discussed today. So Coffee with the Mayor was developed to keep our residents, businesses, and community partners informed on highlights from last night's council meeting. So were there any interesting comments during Citizens Open Forum?
Well, there's always interesting comments during
yes.
the Citizens Open Forum. Some nights they're more interesting than others. We didn't have a very full agenda last night, which this should make for a pretty short episode today. But we did have a few people get up and speak. Mostly it was regarding the item on the agenda for the Leisure Services Board. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Yeah. But other than that, it was really a great update that we got on Beauty and the Beast this past weekend.
How did that go?
It went great. They did a terrific job.
Knocked it out of the park, so to speak.
Yeah, we had, when we counted as a city, we had over 500 and something people there. And they counted later in the evening, and they came up with a number of about 600 people attended.
Wow.
So it was good.
Good for them.
But it was pretty quiet, so yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Good to hear that. So on the consent docket, you guys held a city council, I should say, held a work session on March 25th regarding the Ordinance Review Committee recommendations. And this committee meets every 5 years to review city ordinances exclusive of the city charter for legality and obsolete items and make some recommendations to the city council on their findings. So how did that work session go?
The session went great. This Ordinance Review Committee, we're supposed to do it every 5 years.
Right.
We actually might have been a little delinquent in that.
COVID?
No, I don't think it's been 5 years. I think it's been a little longer than 5 years since we've done it. But we went ahead and did it, and the committee did a great job. They actually, to put some perspective, they had 10 hours worth of meetings.
Wow. Going
through all the ordinances. And to put that into perspective, that's like the equivalent of the council having 5 months of meetings.
Yeah.
So as expected, there were hundreds of recommendations that came out of that committee. In our workshop, it's a very pragmatic approach to take to it because our first step was to try to separate those that there was a consensus on, that we were all in agreement as council members, and those that are going to require debate.
Okay, interesting.
So it went good.
So how will council eventually address these? Will it be all at once, or is it going to break it down into, like you just said, things that you're going to have to discuss, but is it by section or subject or?
Well, the way we're going to approach it, we talked about this very briefly last night. And like I said, keep in mind that some of these reviews are as simple, or recommendations rather, are as simple as changing he to they, or grammatical errors or spelling errors or something very minor in nature. Mm-hmm. And so even those that are very minor in nature, they still have to go through a process because it is a change to an ordinance. And so therefore it has to be advertised. It then has 2 different readings, so it has to be voted on twice. So there's ample room for public comment. Mm-hmm. So when you look at it, and we have hundreds of them.
Yeah.
So we can have meetings forever on just that. So we're not doing that.
That's good.
Yeah. So what we'll do, there's no rush. What we're going to do is we're going to take these a few at a time, put them on different council agendas. So we'll see a lot of these ordinances coming through in the coming months. I think we'll probably start right away. I asked about it last night with our city attorney. And I think the approach that we're taking, we've asked staff, are there some changes in here that are more material, that are creating problems that need to be addressed right away? We would have at the staff's discretion to bubble those up. But outside of that, we're just going to kind of take them. Probably the first group that goes through are those that we all agree on 100%. so we can kind of keep moving them through.
Yeah.
The other ones are going to require debate. And so when you start having debate on 100 different items, it's going to take a while.
A little bit.
Yeah, so we'll take our time going through it, and but the workshop went well, and the minutes were approved, and so it's progress.
Good. Progress is good.
Progress is good.
So over the past few years, Leisure Service Advisory Board has experienced some changes to the number of meetings and board members. Did the city attorney receive authorization to draft a resolution to, let's see, we're going to add 2 alternate members to the board and then add 1 more additional meeting?
So he did receive partially.
Okay.
Partially. So we had a lot of discussion about it. And just a little backdrop, and this is what I love about this episode, doing these, and that is you can spend more time giving a little history, and if someone has a question, they certainly can ask. But this board used to meet 12 times. When you eliminate the holidays that we typically cancel those meetings, they met 10 times a year. Mm-hmm. We brought them down to 4. It was more manageable, and there was some transition that was taking place on that board personnel-wise. And so we've gone through that, and the board, the city clerk's office made a suggestion that we take it from 7 members down to 5. And the logic behind that was it's easier to make a quorum, actually. Mm-hmm. It becomes more manageable, right? The council didn't take action on that when it first came up, so it died for a lack of second. This goes back a couple meetings. So fast forward, the actual Leisure Services Board asked us if we would expand the number of meetings by 2 additional meetings a year, and also would we add an alternate, 2 alternate positions. And the alternate system works well for us on other boards, because what we allow our alternates to do, if there is a full member that is absent, we allow the alternate to step up and become a full board voting member, so it makes the quorum work.
Okay.
And it's a good system. Mm-hmm. And so I think that the council felt unanimous in that should be moved forward. And so that instruction was what was provided with the city attorney to go off and draft that. On the issue of having additional meetings, I think that the majority felt that right now is not the time to do it. That board is kind of refocusing its effort on more of its core purpose, which is to get feedback from the public on programs and leisure services, parks and recs, whatever you want to call it. I'm old school. I still do parks and rec, right? As well as to provide input to the city council, the city manager, and also to provide some input to the director of leisure services. So they're kind of retooling that and getting more folks. They don't run events. And a lot of people get confused about that when they hear about the board. And so they don't run events. That's not their job. Most of them are completely involved in all kinds of events. The members are. But that board doesn't do that. So one of the 2 made it through, and the city attorney is going to go work on that part to add alternates. So it should be a nice addition.
Well, cool. Were there any other key action items from the council meeting?
We approved, and for those of you who may have been watching the meeting, you notice that we have been really being aggressive in our capital improvement budget by expanding some of our IT infrastructure.
Yes.
And, we all are aware of some of the reports out at the water plant, right? And so we're being extra sensitive to those types of needs right now. And the staff and city manager in particular is being very aggressive about making a heavier investment in that where it might have been later down the road in the capital improvement budget. We're accelerating that. So we made that change last night. And but it was a night that we were in part working on coordinating dates for future meetings. Yeah. And it was one of the few times that we had a really light agenda.
Wow.
So it was nice.
It would be.
It was nice.
My goodness. So annual recycling day with Earth Day tomorrow, actually. It seems appropriate that we would be hosting our annual recycling day program, so this Friday. So what's this all about?
It's an excellent opportunity for people to get rid of some stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And do it the proper way. There's shredding, so if you have documents and that type of stuff, bring it on out. It's going to be, let's see, from, it starts at 12 o'clock?
No, 8.
8 to 12.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, thank you.
It's over at the Oldsmar Sports Complex. Bring it out there. We have up to 5 boxes of shredding or bags and unlimited electronics.
Correct.
So you've got those old laptops or that type of thing you want to bring out. We don't take the old TVs, though.
Oh, my.
No old TVs.
No old TV. So
But there are some alternatives to take.
there are?
That's right.
What are
the
those?
county has one. And I have my note over here.
Oh,
because
look at you. You're all prepared.
I'm all prepared because she prepared me and gave this to me. Because your mayor wasn't aware of this. Because I was asking about, are they taking old liquids and stuff like
Right.
we're not taking chemicals.
We do not.
We do not take that. And so there is the very next day over at 29582 US 19 North, behind the North County Government Center, just south of Curlew, and from 9 to 2.
Yes.
So you can show up over there and get rid of the rest of the stuff. You can leave it in your car if you made a mistake and you got it mixed up. Just go over there in the morning, but make sure they're open. Do
Keep it
not
in.
just, right.
Yeah. And it's very quick. I've done it a few times myself, and it's in and out. Social distancing's, every measure, and it's great. It's a streamlined process. And same with recycling day. Like last year, we shredded, let's see, I pulled the stats, 10.45 tons of paper.
Wow. That's a lot of paper.
And medication, we had almost 92 pounds through the sheriff's office. And electronics was 2,850 pounds.
That's terrific.
So,
well,
what's
it's
nice is-
very well received.
Yes.
And the medication,
Community loves
I'm
it,
glad
yeah.
you mentioned that because it's really important because some people may not really think about it. They got old medication and they dump it in the toilet. Don't do that because it goes to the water supply.
Yeah.
So that's bad.
Some trippy water.
Trippy water. So you can go for details, sustainabilityoldsmar.com.
Yep.
And you can get more there.
One of our favorites is
coming.
this weekend, Oldsmar Days and Nights at Ari Olds Park. So what's going on?
Very
there?
exciting.
Oh, aren't we
Very
all?
exciting,
Yeah.
The chamber has worked so hard to put this event on. As we all know, we've had to cancel events and postpone events.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're really kind of serving as leaders in this and worked very hard with the Sheriff's Department and the city to ensure that it's all done properly. You'll notice when you go out there this weekend, and it starts Friday, that it's done different. There's tables out on the fields versus the old open field and drop a
Free for all.
That's it. Yeah. So it's a little different. And I have to let everybody know this and remember that we do have a limit on the number of people who are allowed to attend. And this is going to be the challenge for the chamber. And I ask that everybody really work with them. But they're allowed to have up to 1,000 people. But keep in mind, there's about 200 volunteers to put this on. And you have vendors out there that have to get counted in that number. So they're going to click people in and out. And it's going to be a challenge. But the alternative is to not do it. So if you show up and they're at max, go drive around for 20 minutes or something, come back by. And people will leave. And we think when you look at the photos from past years and you count up how many people are actually out there at any given time on the field, that we should be all right. Mm-hmm. But I worry because I know our folks, they're ready to go out and do something.
Oh, yeah.
And, the park is terrific. And so Friday night, 5:30 starts the bands. Saturday, we have the parade starting at 11 a.m. Bringing the parade back. It's the same route.
And who's leading that parade?
It will be the mayor.
The mayor. Nice.
The mayor's leading that, right?
Nice.
So it's going to be great. We have the car shows going on all weekend. Music starts again on Saturday at 12 and runs all day. And then, of course, Sunday we wrap it up with another classic car show, more music. And for details, go to oldsmardays.com.
So who's running the bar on Sunday?
Sunday, we tried to find a job that the council was well suited for.
Oh, okay.
So the chamber asked us to go out and serve beer on Sunday.
Oh, that's so nice of them.
So we're going to be out there serving beer as a council to all the citizens, but you have to pay for it.
Well, it's Wing Wars too. I think it's the 10th year. I was a judge one year. That was, ooh, Lord, there were some hot ones.
Yeah, and that's on Saturday actually.
Is it?
6
Oh,
p.m.
thank you.
Saturday.
Okay.
And I've done it before too.
Yeah.
And the other judges, they warn you about those really, really hot ones.
Yeah. At least they warn you this time,
Yeah.
unlike in the past. But well, it's
But it'll be a terrific time. The Chambers work super hard on this.
Yes, I'm
and all the
so happy for
volunteers are
them.
going to be out there, so it's going to be great.
looking forward to it.
Good weather.
Yes.
Supposed to be good weather
Thank
for
you,
us.
baby Jesus.
Got the rain out of the way. I think it's just to get the pollen cleared out.
I know.
Huh?
Yeah.
How nice is that?
Beautiful. Yeah, can't wait for the parade.
Yeah, everyone
always
loves the
the-
parade.
Yes. So it's April, so that means it's Mayor's Water Challenge Month.
It is.
Yes. So I know each year you strive to get those numbers up and promote the Mayor's Challenge for water conservation. So can Pleasures win anything by participating in
They
this?
can. There's a
Wow.
lot of different prizes and gifts. And let me explain what it's all about. Basically, it is a community effort for folks to step forward. They go online to mywaterpledge.com and select our city. And then there's some questions that they'll ask you of simple ways to save on water and to assist the environment. And so you go through it and you answer the questions and you think about, hey, maybe I could water less or make sure that I'm not watering my yard when it's supposed to rain. Little things like that. It's real quick to go do. And so it calculates how much water you'll be saving and conserving. And so as a city, we compete against other cities, and if you want to put your personal information in, then you're eligible for prizes. One of them's like $3,000 towards your annual utility bills.
Hey,
So
who
it's
could
kinda
use
cool.
that?
Yeah, it'd be nice. But we've always done well in it as a city. We probably haven't emphasized it as much this year just because of everything going on. We're in the top 20 right now for our population group.
Number 16.
16.
Yeah. We moved up.
We moved up. Well, we should end up at least in the top 5, I think. What do you think?
Oh, it's doable.
It's doable.
Yeah.
Come on.
I
so-
know we're pushing that on Facebook and all that for you, so
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So everyone go out there, it just takes a minute.
that's good. So due to technical difficulties during our last session, we weren't able to provide any live questions to you. But we did get a few comments from the viewing audience at that time requesting an update on the BMX track retaining wall replacement. So would you like to provide an update?
Sure.
Great.
I'll give a little information on it. The council awarded the design build agreement back at the January 5th meeting, which means we've made the decision on who we're going to hire to move forward. Which is Kokalakis Construction, well-known local firm.
Yes, they are.
Well, they're an internet. They're really a national and international firm, but they are based here in Dunedin or over in Dunedin. Great folks. The contract's not to exceed just under $3 million, and so we set a limit on it. And we did provide them with a notice to proceed on March 8th.
Okay.
And so where it stands right now, they have engaged in it already. I don't know if they've actually started tearing it down yet, but they're doing all the other work that has to be done. It's being worked on, and the project's scheduled to be completed by February 2022.
Ooh.
So our goal is to have it reopened and ready to go in time for Gator Nationals.
Okay.
So we hope to see that event come back. We know it'll come back. They've committed to us
Oh, yeah.
to bring it back. And so some people ask me, why is it $3 million versus what it cost us to originally build?
Okay.
And it's a fair question to ask.
Yeah.
And so here's the thing. What you have to remember is it costs money to remove it.
That's true.
Because, we're in litigation with the contractor who originally built it. We hope to recover some of these funds, and we'll see. Regardless, the council made the decision to move forward. We think it's an asset to the community. And even had we not decided to move forward, we still would have spent millions of dollars removing it to put something else there.
Yeah.
Right? And we have a community that really supports riding. And frankly, there's a large group of kids that we want to continue to service. So we're excited, but it's a good question. But it's moving along.
That's
It's moving
good.
along. I
So-
got a couple other things real quick. I just wanted to
too.
mention outstanding job. We talked about Beauty and the Beast over the weekend. May 6th is National Day of Prayer.
Oh,
And so at 6:30, this year it will be at Ariel's Park.
okay.
In the past, it's always been on the City Hall steps.
Yes.
But for social distancing, they moved it over there. So it's always a real nice event and well attended. And so put that on your calendar. And then I had one other thing that I did want to mention. May 15th at the Oldsmar Sports Complex, from 1 to 4 p.m. The Chamber, in partnership with the city, is hosting a jobs fair.
Oh, lovely.
Jobs fair, and they have like over 50 companies already signed up.
50?
And
Wow.
they're filling, at this point, I think they've logged that there's somewhere around just over 200 jobs that are going to get filled. Local jobs.
That's wonderful.
So get a local job,
Yeah.
save on the commuting.
Hey,
So there you go.
there you go. Oh, so thank you, Beavis Oldsmar. So he's
Who's
commented.
that?
I think that's Doug Beavis downstairs.
Oh, gosh.
So
do we have to
he's-
take this question?
Yeah, well, he's correcting us, which is nice. Thank you, Doug. That Wing Wars has been canceled because the restaurants can't find staff to work. But they're working on a hot wing challenge for Saturday night, so something to do. If you like wings.
If you feel like wings.
If you feel like
and
wings.
I should say this, we were going to have Beavis join us today as a guest, but we're still kind of working with our equipment. We got more equipment coming
Yep.
in, and so we'll have him come back. You know,
He'll be a fun guest.
he'll be a fun guest. I mean, it's kind of unfair because, you know, his profession being a DJ.
Yeah.
So, but it'll be entertaining nevertheless.
Always is.
Always is. So,
Very much. Yes.
any other questions we got?
No, nope, that's it.
Well, you know what? We had
Wow.
a short meeting.
Yeah.
And I noticed just now that my coffee is almost gone again.
Oh,
So you know
dear.
what that means.
Time to close it up.
It's time to close it up. So let me just say to everybody, thank you for joining us. I hope you, if nothing else, were entertained a little bit, but learned a little bit about what we did last night. And we try to bring this to you the morning after every city council meeting. So we'll see you next time. And have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you.